Still scoring like Mo Salah, but you won't see me on the wing. Oh, that's your girl I didn't know, brother. She was really trying to get it in. She was trying to give me blows, whoa, I didn't even say a thing. I don't force girls, I get girl force. Shorty blowing like the wind. Still winning, man, I can't lose. Had to hit him with a part two. Pretty girls, let me touch it. You got no touch, Lukaku. I finesse it, ain't hard to. I just R1 and then R2. I can run through if I want to. Like a through ball, I just pass through.
Alright guys, welcome back to Relegation Battle. Let's get straight into this week. I want to start with Jack. Obviously, football is back. Been reading a lot of stuff on Twitter, and the one I want to start with is Harry Maguire. He divided a lot of opinion, especially with United fans. But last night, you could say he was a little bit of a fault for the equaliser. How do you think his first season has been?
Well, I think whether you're pro Harry Maguire or not, everyone can clearly say on C, we overpaid for him. No Man United fan, whether you're Maguire in or whatever, not even out, but if you're pro Maguire, you're not going to say he's worth 80 million. He's not. But he's still better than what we had last season. And at that point, we needed a centre-back. So I think first season looks at Hull. He made a few mistakes, but I think he's done okay. Nowhere near 80 million. So even if we have overpaid, you might say if he played very well, then you might say we might have overpaid, but it's kind of justified. But it's nowhere been near justified, and I think it's been okay. Yeah, last night's just a bit capped it off, to be honest.
Obviously, you guys do want to fight for the title next season. Do you think he's good enough to lead you in that?
I think he can be if he has the right partner next to him. Right now, him and Lindelof don't complement each other very much because they're both. Harry Maguire is good in the air, Lindelof's not. So there you got comparison, but they're both not quick. As we got the players now, we're trying to play higher up the pitch with our fullbacks pushing on. And if you've got Maguire and Lindelof, you're so prone to the counter attack. That's why in the first game against Spurs, when Bergwijn cut inside, Harry Maguire turned like a brick. Literally turned so slow, and Lindelof couldn't get across because he's not quick enough. So I think also his mistakes have been very costly. Sometimes you get players made mistakes, but they don't lead to a goal. They just lead to maybe De Gea makes a save. Even he's made mistakes, but especially the big ones, the big mistakes he's made have led to a goal, which made it look might at least seem worse than it actually is.
This more towards quality. What do you make of the Bruno impact, him and Pogba playing together? What do you make of it so far?
Well, since Bruno come in, we haven't lost. Last night felt like a defeat, but we didn't lose. Since he's come in, he's brought everyone's standard up. We've gone from, you can say even for like a United fan raves about him, but we've had Lingard and Pereira for 6 months. We're done with that. Any improvement is an improvement, but him has been so good. That's why every Man United fan goes on about him. I think there's still times where he gives the ball away way too much. However, I believe that in that final third position, if you've got a creator like him, he's going to do that.
You have to take the risk, don't you?
Yeah, 8 times out of 10 he might lose the ball, but that 2 times will probably lead to a goal. And I think now that Pogba's back, I think when Pogba was by himself, he's had to do the creating, the scoring, the defending, the attacking. He has to do everything. But now Bruno's there. He's like, you know what? I'll sit here with Matic and just come up a bit. Bruno can do his thing, but I'll just sit and dictate the play. So I think it's been good between them two.
Tom, you already faced that Bruno Pogba partnership at Tottenham. You guys dealt fairly well until Eric Dyer did what he did. And Jay, you're facing him on the weekend. What do you guys think of Man United as a whole right now?
I think. Go on, Jay. You go.
I don't know. I say I'm scared of them because of their attacking prowess. I think Bruno's brought a lot to everything. I would say that. I think you've got the two sides of the argument. He's obviously a very, very good player. But all of his goals and all that stuff, people can say that it's come in penalties and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you can also miss them. So I think you've got to give him that in the sense of, I don't know, if I think it's way too early to kind of form this like opinion that he's great. But at the moment, like Jack said, they haven't lost, and he's playing well, and he's involved in near enough everything. So I'd say that he's good one for the future. I think I'd just get angry that everyone has a better player. That's about it, really. But then I think on Sunday more than anything, it's like, I don't know, it can go one of two ways. It could be, I think it just depends how they set up. If they set up quite attacking, they'll probably win because our defence is. But then their defence isn't good. But I feel like they're a lot more in tune with each other at the back than ours are. Like we swap out a centre back every single game. None of them have really sat together. But Lindelof and Maguire have that kind of partnership things. And after watching today, it's good being dominant, but what's the point if you can't do anything with it? Like 77% possession against Sheffield, and we still lost 3-0. Like today, really and truly, it's just, I don't know. There's something obviously lacking there, but I don't know. Well, we've got loads of new signings, so don't know. I'd say
he always has to make it about Chelsea, doesn't he? When he's off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we'll get on to Chelsea in a bit. Tom, what do you make of the? Let's call it the new United, because it is a bit different from what we usually see in the last.
Bruno and Pogba.
Just Bruno and like just United in general right now.
Oh well, I actually after the Man United game, I text Jack saying he is your best player. He thinks Pogba, but which is fair enough. But I honestly think that is Man United's new best player. When we played him, Pogba weren't playing with him, so it was just Bruno, and literally the play went through him the whole time when it came to Man United. The thing I like about him is he'll make one pass, and then he'll move, and he'll just get into positions. His position awareness is so good, and his passing is just unreal. The technique on his shooting, I think he's like the whole package, and I wouldn't expect him to be doing well so quick, but the fact he is actually really worrying, because once he's got like say 1 or 2 years experience under his belt in the Premier League, I think he's just going to be excelling like De Bruyne standards, you know.
Do you think though that it might be like a little bit of a run or something there? Because all players have it, don't they? Some of them.
No,
it's lasted quite longer. That's the thing.
Because if you watch his just his overall play in the game, he's just too good. It's not like it's not like a fluke or he's doing a bit and then he's not getting involved. He's like involved with everything. He's got so many chances to mess up, but he rarely does, and he's just involved with everything. He's so good.
What do you guys think?
Joe, before you go on, can I just make one point? Jay mentioned that he scored a lot of penalties, and like I think I've seen a lot of I get assists from like free kicks and that. I just say Jay made a good point that you can miss it, but it's like you're getting in this world that players can't score penalties, players can't make a 5-yard pass for someone to shoot. It's like wherever it's something he does, fans like to criticise. If he puts a like when he first came in, I think he had 5 games and he had 5 goal involvements, but first people say, oh yeah, he only has 1 open play. Like, does it matter if he scores a penalty or scores from outside the box? Not really. I think
with that though, it's when you get a new player and it's a rival team, people will find as much wrong with everything as they can. It's just the way it is though, isn't it? It's like everyone knows he's a good player, and anyone who says he isn't is a fucking idiot. But really and truly, I think people are just going to find something wrong with everything he does.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, Jack and Jay, what do you think will happen in the semi-final on the weekend? Who do you think is going to go through?
I don't know, because we're both fighting for top 4, and I don't think we're going to put out a team that's going to... Because let's say Chelsea put out someone like Pulisic, someone who's been really big for us, and he gets injured. It's not worth it, do you know what I mean? So I don't know how they're going to go about it. It would really be down on the day and like the team. Well, I'd say Man United have like I think they're more structure at the moment between their team, and I feel like they're building more of a team, whereas Chelsea is just surviving until they get the transfers done and stuff like that. So I'd hate to say it, but I'd say Man United probably have more of a chance. But once again, I'd say it's down to like the day and who plays and how it kind of, because there's not a clear winner in my opinion. I think with like us two, we're not the best at the moment. But I definitely think after like transfers and stuff next season, it could be different. But I'd say Man United have more of a chance of winning it. Yeah.
And obviously, game depends on a few things, but Chelsea played today and we play on Thursday, so that only gives us 2-day rest. We can't play the same team 48 hours, 30, whatever, how many hours later. So for me, I think we'll rotate in that game. And I echo Jay, we're both fighting for top 4. However, as fans, we're going to say, yeah, we should prioritise FA Cup. But the managers aren't going to, we should prioritise the league, sorry. But the managers aren't going to be like, yeah, let's play the youth team. They're still going to play a strong team, you know?
It's only silverware.
Yeah, exactly. And first full season for Ollie, first season for Frank. They're going to want to win something.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I think
they haven't won anything yet.
Yeah, so as fans, we're quick to go, yeah, we should just win the FA Cup and just focus on getting top 4. But realistically, we're not going to do that. And I mean, another thing, like, I don't want to muck it, but we've beaten them 3 times. Very rarely do you see a team beat another team 4 times in one season. Very rarely. So in my head, I think we definitely can win. But 4 times in one season is just very unheard of. That's why I think Chelsea could have an edge.
Fair enough. Right, well, you guys spoke about briefly their top 4 race. Tom, we'll go into the North London derby in a minute, but I think it's fair to say both Tottenham and Arsenal are out of the race for the top 4.
Yep.
It's United, Chelsea, Leicester, maybe Wolves and Sheffield. You want to include them. Tom, who do you think you'll get the 2 spots?
Chelsea and Man United. I think Leicester will drop out. I thought that from the start before the restart even, because if you look back, they were in poor form. They had like a good first half of the season, like really good to be fair. And no one saw it coming, and they got so many points there. But as it got past December, after December, they really started dropping the points a lot and bad performances. They got a couple of hard games coming up. I know they got us, and I'm not trying to be big-headed, but whether we're crap or not, it's still going to be tough for them. I think they got Everton as well, and then they got Villa or something like that. Everton
they got us.
easy.
They got Sheffield. I think they got Sheffield, United, and Spurs.
Oh, they got you. Oh, that's
we got them last day of the season.
And Chelsea got Wolves.
Man United beats them, and they got Sionchu out as well. So
yeah,
he's a fucking idiot. He boots someone in a goal.
I think he's overrated anyway, but he's still a good player for them, I guess. But he's so overrated. I see people putting him in like the team of the seasons. Oh my god, people slag off Harry Maguire. I'd have Harry Maguire in my team over him any day of the week.
The only person that's really been good for them in the defence is like Johnny Evans, and that's like a massive surprise in itself. But like, I don't know. There's something about Leicester. Like,
they got so many overrated players. I don't really rate even Maddison that much. Chilwell is so overrated. Chilwell is so overrated. That's really the most overrated player they've got.
But for me, Maddison's
I don't know. Like, I rate Maddison, but I hear people saying, "Oh, he should be starting for England." I'm thinking, do you not know who Jack Grealish is? Jack Grealish, I think, is so much better than him, and he plays for a crapper team.
I don't know. I'll take Maddison over Grealish.
Really, because he's playing for he's carrying Aston Villa.
Yeah, but it's really easy to shine in this.
Yeah, but exactly. That Villa team is not hard to take a stand out.
I don't think so.
Do you think if Grealish went somewhere and wasn't the star player, for instance, do you think he would play at the same level?
But he would also have better players around him.
Yeah, exactly. He can't do everything.
He's trying to interchange and someone can't pass.
But what team would he go to?
I don't know. I first
United don't need him.
Yeah,
Imagine not need him anymore. We don't necessarily need him.
Well, he could go. We could have him.
Every player like that, I don't know, in my head, like the Grealishes and all that, I just see them going.
I could see him going Liverpool. That is a player Liverpool need. Liverpool don't have a typical playmaker because of Coutinho. That was the last one they had. That is perfect for them. I think Grealish could easily go Liverpool. Whether he will, I don't know, but he would fit, in my opinion.
But back to like Leicester, weren't they like 9 points clear at the start of like lockdown? Like at the end,
in February, they were 15 points clear of Man United.
Yeah.
Like I know, like I think Chelsea have won like I think it's like 6 games in 15, or something like that, and we still caught up with Leicester. So for us to even be playing that bad and stuff like that and still catch up to them is mad. And let alone Man United wankers.
Just going, I think before we played Southampton, I was very confident that we were going to get third. If we beat Southampton, we go into third.
I think it was just a weird weekend.
I don't see now. Chelsea, they've had a good season, but they can also see they've lost a lot of games. But they've always hung in there. They've always got a result when they've needed to get a result. So I just think they got Wolves last year of the season, and then I'm not sure who else they've got.
They've got Liverpool now.
You got Liverpool. I mean, depends if they beat Arsenal tomorrow, then that could be a hard game. If they don't, then I think you could win, like City.
There's part of me that just feels like Liverpool are slowly getting sussed out. So I don't think they're as much as like I feel like when we played them 3 times. We technically drew 1, and then we lost on the penalties. They beat us once, and we beat them once, and now this will be like the 4th game of whatever. But I just think that every time that we've played them, like we're not the best team or whatever, but they haven't been able to do anything that like the average like team could stop. I don't know. There's like some games where they're like fantastic. Like, nothing taken away from them. They're an amazing team, but I can't see like I don't know. I don't think they could do a back-to-back. I don't think so.
Find out.
Yeah, my wife got out for the last minutes. I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but Tom, we'll talk about the derby. For me, from our perspective, it was more Arsenal's defense versus Arsenal's attack. Which one's gonna have a bigger impact? What was it like for you?
Say that again.
For me, it was like Arsenal's defense versus Arsenal's attack. Who's gonna have a bigger impact in the game? Is our attack actually going to do better than the mistakes of our defense? Or what was it like for you as a Tottenham fan? So for me, it's just about our defense and not making mistakes.
Jack, what's he saying? I'm very confused.
So he's saying instead of it being Tottenham versus Arsenal, he was saying he knows his defense is poor, so it was a mixture between would the attackers outscore the defenders? So like, would they, if defenders make two errors, would the attackers score 3, or would the attackers not do anything and it would just be the defense that would mess up? So how do you see it from your point of view?
What, from Arsenal?
No, like this game in general.
From yours,
Tottenham
yours.
view.
Oh, right. Oh, defenders like messing up. I mean, that's what it was from both teams. I mean, people say that I've seen Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, we gifted it to him. We gifted it to him." We gifted yours to you. It might not have been. If you think about it, right, he had a lot to do. Lacazette. I'm not saying anything like that. Is an absolute banger, right? If you see how he got the ball, or he took a touch using his studs, and he was so far away from him, and the ball went to Lacazette. That is disgusting technique. That is ridiculous. I never want to see him in a Tottenham shirt ever again. That is ridiculous. So in theory, we gifted yours as well, even though he still had a lot to do, but he shouldn't have even had the chance to do it.
Yeah.
I just think it's just too. I said it during the game. This is just 2 really, really shit teams. It really is. North London is dead. We're actually crap, both of us. I don't care. I see loads of fans, like loads of Arsenal fans, saying, "Oh, they're crap," and I see loads of Tottenham fans saying, "They're crap." Why are you focusing if they're crap? I would only focus on it if they're crap. If your team's doing well, I'm in the mind frame to think just focus on yourself. Get us back to where we were. Who gives a shit about? Because we're both shit. Why are we?
Yeah.
We're just shocking.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like the football during that game was dreadful. Like we were creating chances, but like a lot of the times it wasn't due to us being really good. Like especially that second half, you guys just almost let us have the possession. It wasn't us dominating with the passing. You guys just sat back and see like, all right then, and you just didn't take your chances. But for you guys now, so maybe I guess you're basically still in like Europa League, like hunt for that.
Yep.
What I was thinking about for Tottenham is, are you worried about keeping players like Son maybe Kane, Ali, or do you think they'll stay no matter where you finish?
Son's not going to leave. I don't think Kane will. To be honest, I say this with such strong words because you probably think I'm stupid. I could not give a shit if Kane left. Not because I want him to leave, because I do not blame him. He doesn't deserve to be at our club. People are starting to think he's not even a world-class striker, but just because he's playing for us, he can't do everything. He's coming back. He's got no support. You put him in a Real Madrid team or a Barca or anything like that, or Man City, he's back to I don't know, top 3 strikers in the world. Apparently, he's not even world-class anymore.
Do you think teams like Real Madrid and all that will even go for him now after such a poor season? I know he's been injured and stuff, but I mean, the sense of
the reason why they're not going to go for him, Jay, they know how good he is. The reason they ain't going to go for him is because we ain't going to sell him unless they give us our 150 million. Because he just signed a new contract. There's no way we're going to sell him unless they give us top money. And not many clubs are going to do that.
Do you think? I mean, Benzema's doing well as well this season, but I'm trying to think what club would go for him. Man United, I don't think they'll go for him. They were obviously linked with him in the last couple of seasons. I don't think that's the option for him. I don't think any English clubs are, to be honest.
Man United can afford him.
But they want him now. Martial, Rashford, Green.
Exactly, and even if they didn't have Martial, they couldn't afford him. I'm not saying because they're not rich, because they wouldn't be willing to pay 150 million. It's very rare you're going to want to pay 150 million unless it's.
Would anyone be though?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's a good player, but it's very rare it happens. Like Mbappe and Neymar is the only two.
Yeah, you could say PSG, but they've just spent big on 2 players. They're not going to do it again.
Exactly.
And I don't think Kane would want to go to the French league anyway.
No, he'll probably want to stay. I reckon he'd either go Spain or stay in the Prem and go to Man City.
I feel like those 2 leagues are the ones that are most highly spoke about, I guess. So you wouldn't really want to go anywhere else. The Bundesliga, it's not bad, but it's not the same team wins it every single year, so it gets boring. It's not a bad league. It's just there's always one dominant team, so it's not.
But do you know what it is? I think people don't want to go to the Spain because of the league. They want to go because Real Madrid is the best team in the world. Look at the history. That is the best club in the world. And you could argue that Barcelona is the second best club in the world. The only reason why players want to go there is just because of the history of the clubs. They're the biggest clubs in the world. Not because of their league, because the league is fairly standard. It's out of them 2 every year. Do you know what I mean?
The players they have.
But it's because they're the 2 best clubs in the world.
And they're also going to have good players, so you're going to want to play with the best players, aren't you?
Yeah,
so
Messi.
You go there as well. I get your point.
Yeah, we spoke a bit about Frank and Oli earlier. I think it was during the might be Sheffield United game, or you played before us. Bournemouth, that's the one. I saw on Twitter that Jersey Out was trending.
Oh,
For me,
I was one of them.
Tom was one of them.
Really?
I was one of them.
Because in December, I think Jack was there. You called for Pochettino out, Mourinho in. I think with the Mourinho slam is a bit unfair at the moment. So
that Mourinho out that I was doing was literally just, when you just play so bad and you're just so angry. It's reactionary. When I calmed down, I thought about it. Even after the Everton game and Sheffield United game, we never had good performances. Even though we beat Everton, it was a shit performance. But I thought about it. Everyone's saying that he's so defensive. When he first joined us, he was attacking. We scored loads and loads of goals. The only problem was we were conceding all the time. We never kept a clean sheet. So I don't blame him for going defensive because he's thinking, am I really going to risk them attacking and then just letting in goals for fun? So I don't blame him for setting him up defensively just because we're just going to concede all the time. And ever since we've done it, we kept 3 clean sheets in. Is it 3 or 2 in the last 5 or 6? How many games have we played? Is it 6 now?
Yeah.
I think we've kept 3 clean sheets, and that is a lot more than what we were. I'm not even joking. So I would say I want him in as long as he's going to get the backing from the chairman to get in the players he wants. That it can. I'd honestly just spend all the money on a defence and a holding midfielder And if they're going to get one other player, get a backup striker. Do not touch the attack. Leave the attack. Just sort out that defence and that holding midfielder. We haven't had two good fullbacks in years after Walker and Rose. We've got no holding midfielder. There's not one holding midfielder. Winks is having to play it. He's not a holding midfielder.
Would you, with like Mourinho though, as you've seen like, loads and loads of times, he loses the dressing room. Do you think like maybe after this like downhill spiral? So I saw something, I don't know how reliable it is, but it was something like Ndombele doesn't want to play for Mourinho, which I think is, but like he's been there for how long or whatever. But even if it's not true or whatever, but I mean like being there for how long for a statement as bold as that is like massive. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I don't blame him for coming out and saying that because he's not playing, but then I don't blame Mourinho for not playing him because he's not Mourinho's player. He never bought him. Ndombele is so. I'm telling you now, he could be a world class player. He's so good technically, but Pochettino was the one who signed him, and even Pochettino won't start him. And he came out and said himself, he's not been up to the standards work rate. If you're not up to the standards in the Premier League, you're going to get. You're in the midfield. You have to be. Your work rate has to be like up, like top notch work rate because you're going to get dominated in this Premier League. I'm telling you that now. So I don't blame him. I'm gutted though because I was really. There's a player in there. I'm telling you that now. I feel like it's going to be like another De Bruyne situation where we done at Chelsea. But then what can you do? I mean, you're not going to keep a player of that quality just sitting on the bench. You know what I mean? Like you just might as well get rid of him and get like 50, 60 million for it.
Yeah, as long as you don't send to Arsenal. Fuck me, imagine.
No, Arsenal ain't going to be able to afford it, are they? They're struggling with money.
Just going back to that point about Tom said about Mourinho starting well, but having to go defensive because they're conceding. It's a bit similar to what Arteta's done. He's come in, started playing forward at the back, then noticed that his centre backs don't work. His centre backs that he's got now don't work in the back four. They have to. So he's gone to a back three to limit the goals he concede, but then that takes away a midfielder. So they don't score as many goals as they was at the start when he came in, but they don't concede as many.
You just got to wait for them to, get whatever. I don't know what the money's going to be for us or you. I feel like we're in a similar situation right now.
Yeah.
You just got to wait and see what they do and what signings they make and then go from there, to be honest.
Joel, do you think Arsenal might be like a little bit fucked for the minute, like with the fact that your three centre-backs are still like, they're not very
like for this season, I have no no target right now. Like it's just take one game if you do win, do win. Well, the one thing I don't understand, like I've been happy with what Arteta's been doing, like tactically. I back him doing back to back because obviously our defense isn't great. The one thing I don't understand is why Kolasinac left centre back. If you got Rob Holding on the bench. He's played one game since the restart and got man of the match by Southampton, and he got benched straight away. Kieran Tierney has played less centre back for Scotland, but he's been there and Kolasinac there. That's the one thing I don't understand, because Kolasinac has been not as bad, like not as always. Luiz has made mistakes, but Kolasinac is right up there with him, but he doesn't fit the Luiz agenda that like Sky Sports like to do. So he's been just as bad. That's the one thing I don't understand from Arteta, why Kolasinac is still playing there.
So who would you play? Rob Holding there?
Yeah, Rob Holding. He was man of the match for Southampton, so like, why not give him the chance?
Do you know what I find is a worry for Arsenal is the fact these players are shocking and you've just given them a contract.
But like you said, it's about the money. If they can give someone else a contract,
that's what I'm saying. They need to buy. They're like us. You can't keep these. They're crap. You can't retrain them or get them better. They're done. They're crap.
David Luiz, he hit his ultimate like just going down after that. I think it was the World Cup. When he got ruined by Suarez. Like after that game, he was never the same player that he
ever was. David Luiz has ever been that great. The only time I thought David Luiz was a good player is when he got played in Chelsea's five at the back.
With Conte,
midfield. Not midfield, Jay. He's not a midfielder.
No,
he got played in the five at the back of Conte, and I thought he had a brilliant season. he hardly ever made mistakes, but people around him, all he had to do, I think he was the middle one, so all he had to do was pass right next to him, so you can't make mistakes.
Who is it? It was Cahill, him, then it was
Chris, that's for the crowd. That was when he had his centre backs.
And then it was Moses and Alonso, wasn't it?
Well, that's Zappacosta as well, I think.
No one
was that Sarri?
No. He played about 7 games and stuff.
I couldn't remember something.
Yeah, that's the with these. Like, we offered him like an extension right after a City game as well. So if there's any reason not to do it, it was that game, but we still did it anyway.
You've also got Saliba coming in next year, though.
Yeah, but
that's an up and coming. But he's young as well.
He's young. What's he gonna learn from David Luiz? He needs like a role model.
And I get that, but you've also got and you got Murray coming back. You'll have that.
I didn't think he looked that great. I mean,
what's his name?
I don't know about you.
Mavropanos.
You got Saliba, haven't you?
Yeah,
Saliba
is good.
I was speaking to my mum.
Like 2-3 games. He played well against Portsmouth and City. Like, he got injured straight away pretty much. Mavropanos is like the German second division. He's doing well, but like.
Yeah, he's not good enough, is he? I wouldn't be surprised if you just sell him.
Yeah, if we're sending him to that division, then I don't know, have to wait till he comes back. But yeah, like you said, what are you going to learn after Luis right now?
Like you said, though, I think you should put Tierney in centre back. I know he's small and everything, but if he plays there for Scotland and he's their captain, they have a lot of faith in him. You might as well just try him there, see how it goes. It's not like you're in.
You could put Saka there.
Yeah, I would play Saka there personally.
He played really well, and it's still an attacking role.
You've extended Luis' contract, but I think reports came out today that Maitland-Niles wants to leave because he's just not happy with game time.
He's not getting played. A lot of Arsenal fans are calling for it.
You can just sign Cedric for a 4-year contract as well. Played one game, or I think 2 by the time he got a contract. But so he must have seen 2. Now you got him and Bellerin. Bellerin doesn't look like he's leaving at the moment.
Yeah, but I think they've been playing Maitland-Niles back in his proper position, Jack, in central mid.
Yeah, I mean, I think he only played it like once or twice, and then went back to right back.
Yeah.
Has he started him right back?
Not since the lockdown.
See, I won't be surprised if he gets sold.
Because for me, he's like another Ox. Like, it's the same situation.
Yeah.
Similar abilities.
In and out
around
the
the
squad.
He will be lost.
Yeah, don't blame him.
But the last thing I want to go over is the Man City getting a financial fair play, the ban of Champions League. What do you guys make of it? It's like,
mate,
for me, you can't give them a 2-year ban and then not have to back it up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me.
It's weird because, like you said, you don't. They said I think their quote was not a sufficient enough of evidence. They don't have enough. But how can you ban someone for 2 years without sufficient evidence?
Yeah, how would
they were
you
saying that it's been going on for a few years. Then they go, all right, you're banned for Champions League 2 years. All right, but we got this. All right, you're unbanned. I mean, it just seems so shaky. Like I said, don't ban someone for 2 years without evidence. It's like saying, yeah, you're going away from murder. I didn't do it. Yeah, well, you'll go away from murder 2 years later. You know what? You're coming out because we don't have sufficient evidence. So why did you put me in the first? I don't know. I mean, it's a bit stupid. I think FFP and CAS, I think it's just...
They're money hungry, aren't they?
Ever.
Do you think there is corruption, or are they just not a good...
100%. I was looking at something. UEFA, how can you give someone the World Cup, but they have no stadiums? But yeah, you can build it.
That didn't make sense to me.
But they don't have one stadium. They built everything new. It's not like they have old stadium. They're building. They had none.
But it was in it
that they went to jail for that, but they still held the work. They're still holding it there. It doesn't make sense.
They were talking about that, wasn't it? It was supposed to be England to hold it, and then it was like apparently England had more votes and all that, but they fixed it so that Qatar got. Who the fuck votes for Qatar? They're going to ruin the whole season with it now being in winter. But you're going to ruin the whole season of football. So now, it might work a bit better in the sense of now everything's restarted like with lockdown and everything, it might work a little bit better. But it's just going to ruin the whole pattern of football, where like players are going to be so off, and I just think it's so stupid. I know football is a fucking business now, but
money talks.
It's just bollocks, massively fucking corrupt.
Big corruptions, yeah.
I wouldn't mind having some of
Chelsea
that.
spend big, but at least they don't do like proper corruption. They just buy underage players, I guess.
That's so shaky.
But the thing is, yeah, they got a 2 transfer window ban. They put their case forward. Oh yeah, it gets reduced to 1. You know what? Fair enough. If we broach rules, we get a punishment. City have mastered broken rules, but they don't get anything.
I reckon they've done it much more than Chelsea.
But you know, the Premier League are also looking into them as well.
Yeah.
The Premier League still has an ongoing investigation of the Premier League's own rules.
They might do something.
So hopefully, our 2011-2012 title could be coming back to Manchester, the red side. Don't want to hear no of this MAGUIRE. That's going to go soon. But yeah, big corruption.
Well, I guess we'll just wait and see what happens. I don't know if you guys have been checking, but obviously last year we did predictions for every game week this year we did fantasy football. I believe, Tom, you are way out in the lead, like 100 points clear.
Yeah, I'm doing well this year.
Jack and Junaid fighting for a second, then me and Dear fighting for 4th.
I was never, ever, ever, ever going to go anywhere near the top.
Yeah, Tom just ran away with it. I can't see anyone catching him, dude.
This cunt bets all on, that's why. He's got all this little fucking little plans in his head.
He's got inside knowledge.
Mate, I know what I'm doing. Just don't pay any Tottenham players or Arsenal players and you're sorted.
Yeah. Well, I just got a notification by the Victor Osimhen is about to go to Napoli. So there you go. So yeah, that is all for this week. Probably be back next week. Have a nice.
I think it's time to talk. I think it's time we